Okay, go ahead.
If a doula were a drug, it would be unethical not to use it. This quote by pediatrician Dr. John Cannell highlights the importance of this essential role in the perinatal space. The purpose of my speech today is to explain to you all what a doula is, where they come from, and the impact of doula care. When we're done, I hope you have a better understanding of what a doula is and how this work plays an invaluable role in our society. Understanding doula work is important for everyone because it's one way that we can address health disparities, maternal mortality rates, and maternal mental health. Now's a great time to get to know more about this topic since recent Medicaid changes have increased access to doula care across Colorado. I'm a credible source of information on this topic because I've experienced doula work from all angles. In my professional life, I run a doula program where I supervise doulas and help train people to become doulas. I've also been a recipient of doula care, and I practice as a full spectrum doula. And as a leader in that role, I advocate for and educate others on the impact of this work. Today, I'll share with you what a doula is, a brief history of doula work, and some evidence supporting doula care. DONA, or Doulas of North America, defines a doula as a trained professional who provides continuous physical, emotional, and informational support to their client before, during, and shortly after childbirth to help them achieve the healthiest, most satisfying experience possible. There are many kinds of doulas, but for this speech, we'll be looking at full spectrum doulas, which is a doula who provides this specialized support during pregnancy, childbirth, and the postpartum period. Now that you have a better understanding of what a doula is, let's get into a bit of history of where this role came from. What we now call doula support has been around since the beginning of time, though they haven't always been called that. Many communities throughout history, spanning over numerous cultures, regions, and centuries, have utilized continuous non-clinical labor support. Historically, these birth attendants have been female relatives, friends, elders, and community members. These support individuals would often continue to provide this care and support well into the birthing person's postpartum period. While this work has been around forever, the use of the word doula to describe it was first coined by an American anthropologist by the name of Dr. Dana Raphael in the 1960s. The word doula is derived from a Greek term that means female slave or handmaiden, unfortunately. Um, Doula work's popularity grew in mainstream American society and popularity in the 1980s, largely in response to a rise in C-section rates. In 1965, the C-section rate in the United States was 4.5%. In 1978, that number rose to 15.2%. And by 1985, the C-section rate hit 22.7% for birthing people in America. Today, doula support continues to be widely utilized, particularly by marginalized and traditional communities. While a primary goal of doula support is still to decrease the use of unnecessary medical interventions, such as unnecessary C-sections, the scope of this role has broadened to impact many other areas of the birthing person's experience as well. Now that you have a foundational knowledge of what a doula is and how this work came to be, let's look into some data illustrating the efficacy and impact of this role. There are many studies that show the qualitative and quantitative impact of doula support during the perinatal period. As I said earlier, the use of doula support gained popularity in modern day America due to rising C-section rates. So let's dive a little deeper into that. Research shows that the use of doula support during labor and delivery increases rates of spontaneous vaginal delivery and results in 52.9% lower C-section rates. This is an important point of impact because the medical risk to mother and baby is much higher during a C-section than it is during a vaginal delivery. And similarly, the healing process after a C-section is typically much longer and again riskier than after a vaginal delivery. Research also shows that births attended by a doula have lower rates of instrument-assisted vaginal birth, lower use of pain medication, and higher 5-minute APGAR scores for babies. Since doulas are non-medical professionals, you may be wondering how they produce these results. The main role of a doula is to provide support, education, and advocacy for their clients. And because of this, individuals have the tools to understand their rights and options and to advocate for what they want or against what they don't want during their birth experience. In addition to the positive impact doulas have on physical health and birth outcomes, research also shows that doulas have a positive impact on their clients' mental health. Doulas provide education to their clients around signs and symptoms of perinatal mood disorders, as well as resources and support around seeking mental health treatment. This is particularly true of underserved populations. Studies have shown that doula support increases satisfaction with birth experience, increases the mother's confidence and ability to have spontaneous vaginal delivery, and increases the mother's confidence in caring for her child. In addition to this qualitative evidence, studies have found that individuals who receive doula support are 57.5% less likely to experience postpartum depression and anxiety. This impact of doula care is important because it responds to the leading cause of death for mothers in the first year postpartum, which unfortunately are suicide and overdose. As I wrap up my speech, let's review some of the points that we've gone over today. So we discussed what a doula is. I explained a little bit of history behind this role that's been around forever. And I reviewed some data and evidence showing the positive impact that doula care has in areas like mental health and birth outcomes. Understanding what a doula is and how doula care improves outcomes is important because it's a resource available to you and people you know that can significantly improve perinatal outcomes. So the next time you're talking to someone who's expecting a baby, remember my speech and ask them if they have a doula. And that's it.